just meet Bhatia on the stage. And once the stage is set, we are all going ahead with the conversation. Okay, starting with the goals that you already have for your school that you have set for this year, and how do you plan? I think let's start with the goals first of all, and then we're going to talk about it further.
Okay. See, first of all, hi everyone here. It's a privilege and a pleasure to be sitting here talking to Sumati. Sorry for that. See, I think I'm caught in the wrong job, though I am heading a school, but I think with my heart, not just my head. That is the problem with me. For me, education is actually preparing our children, introducing them to the world around them, as well as preparing them to know the world inside them. Everyone here is working beautifully on how to prepare them for the future, for the world around them. They are teaching them subjects. Lovely. In fact, I'm too humble because I don't even think I'm so qualified for that. But yes, I definitely amalgamate the outside world with the inner world. Because you know what, when we were in school, I was in school much before you two, it was understood that you finish schooling because you have to enter a college. You finish college because you have to enter some profession, because you have to take up a job or whatever. It was the set standards. But with the population growth, we do not assure children who are entering school today that we will be offering them a job after 20 years. We are preparing them to take on the world after 20 years from hence, minimum. Okay? So with the changing world, we cannot even predict what tomorrow is going to be, leave alone what the world is going to be after 20 years. So I think we will not be able to create so many jobs. Already there's a crisis. So that same thing is becoming a little obsolete, just preparing them, setting goals for the future into professions, things like that. So I feel they need to explore their own passions and talents which is lying deep within them. Forgive me for saying, I say that education, I mean, if I would, though asking question is your forte today, I'm just asking a tiny question. How many of you really think you're very creative? Creative. Come on, let's just raise our hands. Creative. If I had, when I say creative, it is apart from I'm not asking qualified. I'm sure you're, I mean, if not equal, at least much more qualified than me. You're all qualified, but I said creative. So I saw a couple of hands coming up. If I had asked this question to a 5-year-old class, all of them would have raised their hands. Education, we are not growing out of creativity. We are, in fact, educating them out of creativity. This is what I feel. Because we have demarked the hierarchy of subjects in such a way, it's been since Tom's, since when I was in school. Sciences, maths, technology, then comes commerce, arts, whatever. And in arts too, there is another hierarchy of maybe drama comes much later, dance comes later. Max we talk about is singing or maybe music or something. So I am trying to, as Sir said, it really touched my heart when he said we are breaking down the barriers of subjects. Because why are we setting these standards for children that they can just take these subjects? So now let me come to your question. The question was, how do I prepare them to go within themselves? So I do not demark education with spirituality. We have sort of merged spirituality with education, which is very, very important because children need to understand who they are, what they really want, and we cannot tell them what they really want. They have to find those answers within them. So with a lot of pride, I would love to share 3,000 children of my school. They sit in meditation every day in the morning for 15 minutes with the entire staff, and which has worked wonders for them. No doubt, it has eased our work of disciplining them shouting and screaming at them to maintain silence, because after sitting in silence for 15 minutes, they can barely even, voice out what they want to say at that time. So they are in a very calm space. And because of that, their thoughts have become more clear. They really know what they want to do. And they have started accepting everybody around them, those little feuds in the school, little gang wars, all those things have taken a backstage. So once they're in a clearer space, I think they will set their goals on their own, what they really want to do. Because I don't want to take that responsibility, because I really don't know what kind of world they have to face after 20 years. Thank you.
Something very interesting I remember discussing in the last year's summit, which is something very similar, that what we are preparing ourselves, our students today, is something we are not going to even know that, after 20 years, what kind of the professional world or the jobs they'll have to face. All we can say is, I think these students studying today in schools will be creating jobs, new jobs out there that we have no idea about. And I can just imagine your school with 3,000 students out there just sitting there in peace, with doing meditation all together. How peaceful that environment is going to be when we talk about 3,000 students together. I think generally when we think of 3,000 students, it's all,
Yeah, my
shouting.
guests who come, they mistake the school for an ashram or something in the beginning. In the
Oh,
morning.
sure.
They asked me, is the school off today? Because it's pin drop silence from 9 to 9:15 a.m. with some instrumental music playing in the entire.
I think all I can imagine is so beautiful. I think I've already added to my another question that I was going to ask, that how is your school different from other school systems out
I
there?
wouldn't say different. I believe in total oneness. We are one, it's like a tapestry, but I'm just trying to make the threads of threads of compassion among the children, so that they feel that we are all one. The threads are of consciousness. I'm just making them a little conscious that there are no demarcations whatsoever, color, creed, religion per se. That's why I monitor this meditation personally, because I do not want it to be mistaken as any kind of a religious practice in the school, because I have been a meditator for 20 years, so I know what I'm talking about. So basically, I'm just wanting them to explore their hidden potentials and passion, which is totally there. We just have to change the climate of the school. We don't need any strategic kind of planning. The climate of the school changes, the school will flourish.
Thank you so much, Jasbir ma'am, for sharing all that. And I'm sure that we're going to take back a lot of insights, and we are going to add a lot of things this time to our schools, and we are going to help our students to be much better learners. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
sharing, and
having
everyone.
me.
Let's
Thank you.
join our hands together for Jasbir Bhatia.